I hope we are live and audible. Mm, Yes, we are. Um, Hello, namaskar, good evening, good morning, good afternoon to anyone and everyone around the world, all our viewers. I am Anirban and I am your host for the evening, welcoming you all to Upaj, a series of interactive sessions with young maestros of Hindustani classical music. Um, this series has been conceived by myself in collaboration with Swarnabhu Gupta and Chitrayut Bhattu. Swarnabhu is a phenomenal guitarist who plays Hindustani classical music on electric guitar. Chitrayut is a versatile vocalist who is equally adept at both Drupad and Khyal. So, without further ado, let us move to our guest, Master Indradeep Ghosh, who is the flag bearer of Maihar Gharana in violin. Uh, he is a disciple of Professor Vidushi Shishir Kana Dhar Chaudhary, Sri Anumitra Mustafi, and Sri Shomi Singh. Uh, he has toured all over the globe for concerts, collaborations. Uh, 15th October 2017 has been celebrated as Indradeep Ghosh Day in the city of Houston, Texas. Also, for me personally, he is a musician who kind of changed my life because there was this album, Flames, where Kumar Bhusji, Pandit Kumar Bhus, played the tabla with him. There were two ragas, Natbhairav Malbhus. So I listened to this album in the very early stage of my learning, and it was that album which kind of made me decide to learn the violin seriously. So it goes without saying that it is a delight to have Dada with us on the first episode of Upad. Dada, welcome to our show.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here for the season opener for Upaj, and of course, I wishes all the best to Upaj for this nice endeavor of doing like the session, live interactive session with the young artists. Of course, I will not say masters because we are just a learner, means at least myself. So, and I just am very much privileged and honored that you invited me for your the opener. So yeah.
The privilege is ours.
So let's
Okay, so let's start from the beginning. Please tell us about your initial training days. How did you start learning? So, my journey started with you. How did your journey start?
Yeah, I started really at very young age. I started when I was 6, actually. But the thing is that I am not belong from a musician's family because my parents, they are not musicians, but both of them are like real music lovers and connoisseurs of music. Okay, so but I have two brothers, elder brothers, and both of them used to play music. So my eldest brother, he used to play sitar. I am using the term used to because they are not playing anymore. So that's why I'm just saying used to. And the brother next to me, he used to play tabla. So in that way, the music was already there in my family. So I used to listen music from my very like the child or the young age. So and after that what happened is that my parents and my grandparents, they told me that okay, so you have like the string instrument, the stroke instrument, and the percussion instrument in your family. So you can choose some instrument which is like a bow instrument. So yeah, so that was the thing. So the bow instrument, and I was like a kid of like 5 years and 6 years, so they showed me few instruments. And by that time, actually, the other important thing was that we all know that radio, that was the music, the theme music of radio, which was played by Pandit Vijay Jogtap. So that was
Right.
there. So my grandparents, they told me about that music, that this is like the violin sounds like this and stuff. and also in Doordarshan and the Metro and Doordarshan, these two
Okay.
channels, national TV channels. Lot of time we used to see like the violin and stuff that time.
Okay.
So after that, they took me to a violin, means the store, instrument store, and the store they showed me few instruments like the bow instrument like sarangi, israj, dilruba, and violin also. So violin was the smallest. So accordingly, what happened is that I thought that this is something that I can play with, because other things are looking really bigger. Because sarang is also big, dilruba is more bigger. So anyway, so that was the only thing they showed me, like the half violin, and I thought that, this is like the only thing that I can play with. I don't have to like really do anything serious about these things, or I don't have to be serious about this thing.
Very
So
happy
I
to hear
can just
this. Right.
have a good toy to do some sound and some noise and just to annoy somebody near me. So yeah, so it just started like that. So
So,
yeah, so this is basically how I took violin.
right. So tell us about how your training began. So your training began under Sri Anumitru Mustafi. So how did that happen?
Yes, yes. So the training began under Anamitra ji. So my first like Guruji. So actually my teacher of my brother, he knew Anamitra ji, and then he told Anamitra ji that, okay, so there is a kid. That time I used to live like little far from where right now I am, and also from my like Guruji's place, because right now me and Guruji, like my first Guruji, we live very close by. So that time he used to travel like far to go to me and to teach me. He used to go to my house and used to teach me. So he started. So I was just like 6 years, 5.5 or 6 years old that time. So he went there, and so I give all the credit to him, because everything whatever I
Of
am
course.
today and the things, because that's the first thing that so we say in Bangla, so hate kori na. So whenever you are starting something, so
Right.
you are starting something, and that's like the first impression you are getting about something. So that's like the most important thing. So at the very beginning, if you have
Very.
some negative or some like the heavy impact on your or impression on your head, that, oh, I can't do that, or it's very tough, or it's like this, like that, so you can't like go further with that one. So it's always the tension, or it's always something like you don't like to do it. But that's the good thing, and that's why I give all the credit to my first Guruji, Anamitra Mustafi ji, that he nurtured me so well and so nicely, that from the very young age I got interest in music and in violin as well. So that was the thing, and so I studied under him for almost 5 years. Yeah, 5 or 6 years. And after that I went to my
So,
other teachers. Hmm.
so there is this question. So after Onomitra Kaku, you went to Guruma. However, Onomitra Kaku plays in the Western tuning, that is EADG, but Guruma plays in the
Hmm.
Indian tuning. She used to play in the Indian tuning.
Hmm.
She left us in March, of course.
Hmm.
So, how
Hmm.
difficult was the transition for you from this tuning to the Indian tuning?
Yeah, in the beginning, of course, it was a little difficult, but when you're a kid or when you're a child, then you have a lot of more energy to do all this kind of stuff now, because those things, and especially if you are interested in doing something. So, because by the time I went to Guruma, I was completely in the music, and I started loving music by then, or I started loving violin. So, what happened is that I used to play four string violin, E, A, D, G, the normal tuning. So, and after that, when I went to Guruma, then she told me that you have to play five string violin, because we all play five string violin in our gharana or in our style. Although I am also like my previous master ji or like previous Guruji, he is also from Maihar Gharana, because he studied under Professor Ravin Ghosh.
Punit Ravin.
So, and Ravin Ghoshji, yeah, Pandit Ravin Ghoshji. So, and
My
Ravin
student.
Ghoshji, that he studied under Alauddin Khan Sahab. So, in a way, it's the same Gharana, but somehow the tuning was different. I don't know why it happened. So, because I haven't get any like the proper response or answer from anyone. But anyway, so this tuning was something different. So my Guruma told me that, okay, if you have to learn from me, then you have to play a five string violin. So that was also fun, because now I used to play four string, so extra string I will get. So that was also some
Good
impetus
try.
that I get that day. Yeah, so something extra I will get, something okay. So I said, yeah, no problem. I can change the tuning. It will not be any problem and stuff. So yeah, and eventually it was like that. So I had to practice, of course, because if some settings, only the fourth string and the first string technically, because those who play violin, they know that if you are changing the fourth string and the first string, we have to change only. And C or the lower sa, that's always the same thing, what's happening. So these two strings I had to change, and okay, only that paltas and all those things in like the second and the first string and the fourth and the first string for the transition. So yeah, but it was like little struggle, of course, for like few months.
Okay, I was about to ask how long it took. So, mm, so what were your initial days of Riyaz like? Because you were also going to school by that time. So you had to cope up with all the homework assignments and also do Riyaz. How did you manage?
Yeah, management. See, when you start the instruments or playing anything, so in the early age you don't do like a lot of riyaz. So usually you do maximum like 1 hour, 2 hours, that's it. And yeah, and every time as a kid, of course, always, even I also wanted to run away from practice. So that was like the tendency of the kids and everybody.
That's
So
true.
that I used to do, of course, but I give all the credit to my mom, to my mother, that she like took it, or she handled me so well that she completely put me in that thing, in that correct discipline, that what to do and how to do and when to do. So the entire thing I give credit to her, because she put me that okay, this is the time you have to go to school, this is the time you have to do this, this is the time you have to do practice. So basically, till for like 4 5 years or 6 years, completely she was behind me all the time to put me into that one and to put me into the right track. And after that, it became easier, and it became like it came to my system that okay, I have to do this. So then my mother's job became little less. So, but still now also, like even as a professional musician, because right now for the last few years we all are sitting at the home now. So, and
Right.
still now mom sometimes says me, because I'm teaching a lot. I do teach. So what happened is that still now my mom says that if you are teaching so much, then when you will do your practice? So find a time that you can do your practice. So still now that she's saying this one. So yeah, I'm trying. So still now it's the same business, that like the cat and mouse thing, that you are running away from mom and stuff. So it's okay. It's
That is
going on.
wonderful. That
It's
is
fun.
just wonderful. Okay, so the first day that you went to Guruma,
Hmm.
something really funny happened. I think you shared it with us in some BHU workshop. Can you share it again?
Hmm. Oh yeah, that was really fun instance, and that was, I will not forget that day. Yeah, that was real fun for me, because I was that time I was 10, when I went to my Guruma. I was 10, and yeah, I heard that one, that you have to play five string violin, you have to do this. So I was already a little bit more energetic by that time. So I have to do something,
Right.
and after that she asked me that okay, now tell me about something about music, that what you learned so far. So then I started counting my fingers, and I said, oh, this rag. And it was almost like 12 or 15 ragas I learned by then.
Okay.
So I said all the names, then 12 or 15 ragas. So after that, there was like the quietness in the room. So she was looking at me, I was looking at her, but nobody was talking anything, nobody was saying anything. After that, she just told me that, hey, so you are here to teach me, or you are here to learn? So then it was like, then I was just, oh, what is this? So I was looking again, the same thing again, quietness. And after that, I said, no, I know this many rags. I have learned from my previous teachers. So then Guruma told me very like so nicely and so politely, and so still I remember that day. And she told me that, see, still now we can't say that we have learned this many ragas, because I even can play any rag still now. So it's good that you have idea of this many ragas, but it's not that you know this many ragas. Okay, so from today onwards, we will start to know the music in little more better way, or little bit more in detail. So detailed study of the music. So I said, yeah, that's fine, no problem. So then she told me that now you try to forget everything what you have learned, and like format your setup and the brain, everything, and let's start with sargams and palta. And she also told me other thing, that was a strict, of course, in a strict way, that if you want to learn from me, then you have to do sargams or the paltas and all these things for at least 1.5 years to 2 years. So can you do that one? If you can, then only I will teach you. Otherwise, don't think that you will be here and you will be learning the ragas like the previous year. So then I was looking at mom, and yeah, so of course, mom will say that, yeah, you have to do this. Means her eye was said, means her eye was saying that, yeah, you have to do this. So yeah, I told also Guruma the same thing. Okay, I will do. But there was a tussle between like the outside and the inside. From inside, I was saying, oh no, I don't want to do that one. I want to learn ragas. I want to learn this and that. But from my face, I was telling Guruma that, no, I will do it, no problem. I will enjoy. So it's like that. So pipe string, then like 2 years, almost 2 years, yeah, or near to 2 years, I just played palta and sargam. That's it. So so that was funny time.
So let's get a bit more into the music now. So as we all know, Dada plays a violin which has taraf strings appended to it. This violin, by the way, has been made by Sri Krishna Chandra Mandal, who we fondly address as Keshto Bapu. He is a fantastic luthier who lives in Kolkata. So, can you please demonstrate the instrument to us? How special? I mean, what are the special things that are attached to it? How it
Yeah,
works?
you also play, so you know very well that what is this instrument is all about. So yeah, so
I mean, but
basically,
our audience.
for for those who don't know about this instrument, this is like the same like the normal violin or the 4/4 violin. What all the violin is with adapt with reverse somehow. Yeah. So it's the same normal violin what we used to play for the any sort of music, Western or Indian or anything. So the size and everything is the same. Only difference is that you have to change the tailpiece or like the fingerboard you have to change. And of course, this is like the main part that you have to attach something. So I think you can see. So this is like the normal scroll, what we say, and so this is like the extra attachment. So where all the specs for the sympathetic strings are there. So and Kestokaku, as we all know, means you know also. So he started making like 7 strings violin, means the 7 sympathetic strings violin. So that was that was his first like the violin he made like the with 7 sympathetic strings, and he made one for Guruma also as well. And after that he started making 8, and then 9, 10, 12. I think you play 12 or something, I guess.
I 11.
So 11, yeah. So, but yeah, but when I went to Kishto Kaku, then Kishto uncle, then he told me that you can choose what you want to. So I choose like the 8 string, 8 sympathetic string violin. So this is how it is. And so the good thing about this one is that in Indian music, we need to have like the resonance, more resonance of the notes or the more vibration of the notes. So this is the only thing that why we play this instrument. So otherwise, a lot of musicians or a lot of violinists, they say that no, this is not the good instrument to play. This is, you will not get the right violin sound or this and that. So yeah, so there are a
Right.
lot of like these things. But the thing is that ultimately it's music what we are doing.
Absolutely.
Ultimately, what like give peace to our mind, peace to our ears, that is what most important to all of us, for the musicians, for the performers, to the listeners. So at some point I find that if you play this kind of violin, it will give you the best sound, the best quality of what we are doing, the genre of our
I have
music,
to
Indian
agree with
music.
that. I have to agree with
Hmm.
that. Also, if you could share
Yeah.
with our audience how the tarafs are tuned, what is the range of notes that one usually gets from those?
Yeah, the range of taraf, basically we tune it from like the fifth to fifth, or like pa to pa. So whatever the on the tonic, from the tonic, so it starts from the fifth to the fifth. If you are playing 8 strings, 8 sympathetic strings violin, then it's like that. So and according to the raga, of course, you have to change it. If some raga is not using the fifth, then you are changing it to fourth. So like that. So basically fifth to fifth. Hmm. So
So,
yeah,
moving
but for
on.
I don't know. I know somebody like you play. I don't know. I have to ask you something, because it's like it's not like the you are asking me all the time. So I have to also ask you something right now, because I don't have the experience of playing like the 11 sympathetic string violin. So if you are doing like the what you call the chromatic tuning, then how it sounds? Because what happens is that
Uh,
even if you are tuning it chromatic, then some or other resonance will come of some note which is not there in that rag. So how you handle that one?
so, how I dealt with it was, firstly, I did not do any chromatic tuning. What
Okay.
I usually do is I start with the fifth, as you said, on top, and go down
Hmm.
all the way to the third, because I can. It is
Okay.
possible to get that range. So firstly that,
Hmm.
and if within, I mean, maybe the raga does not actually use 11 notes, so maybe I would tune two sas. So, but then two tonics, that is. But then the problem is if
Hmm.
they do not, I mean, they are not tuned at exactly the same pitch, you do not get any resonance. So that needs
Correct.
to be dealt with carefully. So, but then I
Okay.
made sure that there was
Hmm.
no note alien to the raga that was there in the tarab. I did not make sure
Okay.
of that.
Then also the second question to you, because you are playing 11 strings. Yeah.
Okay.
So now say for instance, because you are tuning like the two notes or like these things, because you have 11 strings. So in some ragas, like pentatonic ragas, if you are playing Bhupali, then how will you tune the five strings? Because then one string you have to like maybe one note you have to do three tuning. Means the three strings you have to tune in one note. Then that
Yeah.
note will resonate too high. Means compared to the
Right.
other strings. So how you control that
Right.
one then?
Uh, for instance, if it is Bhupali, I would usually do, let me count, pa, ga, re, sa, dha, pa, ga, top to
So
bottom.
all like two two, top to bottom
Yeah.
almost like two two, all two.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes still sense. Yeah, that's good. But so you will get a little bit more vibration of the notes. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good. And yeah, in some ragas you can of course like the pentatonics like Malkons or some other rag. Maybe you can do like the what you call the Vadiswara, maybe two or three. In
More
that
of
way it will
Madhyam.
vibrate
Exactly.
more. Yeah,
Right.
because yeah, that will be. Yeah, that's good. But yeah, it's too much to control for me. So I am happy that you guys
I
are
mean,
doing
it
this one. 11, 12 strings.
turns out that it is too much to control for me as well. But then that violin is particularly useful while playing something like Jai Jayavanti, or perhaps
Correct.
ragas that are actually
Yeah,
using a lot of notes.
where you have more than seven notes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically that.
Yeah. Of course. Of course.
Okay. Uh, so may I go back to asking questions now?
Yeah. Now it's your turn again.
Okay. So as we all know, you are also an exponent of the viola, not just the violin. So again, the viola that you play also has tarabs. Now the thing is, how do you approach the two instruments differently? That is, what is something that you would do on a viola but not on a violin, or what is something that you would do on a violin but not on a viola?
Yeah, this is nice question. So, see, basically, if we see the different instruments in any genre, like in Western classical, also, if you see cello or like the double bass or even the viola, so it's not the same thing what you can play in violin and in viola. So it's not the same musical stuff you play. No, so it's a different thing. Because whenever you are playing a lower pitch instrument, you can't play like the same stuff like you are playing in the high pitch instrument, because it will not give you that feedback or that resonance. No? So because the response time is much less. So that's why what happened is that viola, of course, you have to play the slower music. Means if I'm talking about the Indian music, like the slower part of the music you have to play, like of course alap or the jor. These are the part you can play over there. But if you want to play too fast of the tan and all these things, so it will not sound good there. So
That
basically,
is
this concept, as you know, also that this concept was introduced by our
true.
Guruma, Srimati Bidushi Shishirkana Chaudhary. So she all the time told us that if you have to play viola, then try to play the right or the real Drupadam, Alap, Jor, that part. Where also like the Jhala is not a part, Alap only and Jor, and it's also like the fast Jor, you are playing all the fast combinations and stuff. It's just like the medium Jor. Till that point, you can play viola. Or if you have to play in some compositions or something, then yeah, of course, like the dhamar or that kind of stuff you can play where you
Then
can
there is also a
handle
lot
the
of
instrument
exciting.
properly.
Then there
Hmm?
is also a lot of exciting stuff that one can play in dhamar, right? So one can
Correct,
do
correct,
Tisra
correct.
Jati and
So
all of
those
that.
are the
So
parts. Yeah, a lot of. Only thing is that you have to avoid. It's not that I will not say that you have to completely avoid, but you have to be little bit particular, little bit careful playing like the fast stuff when you are playing. Because if you are coming to the lower strings, then it will be like too much of this lower frequency stuff. No? So if you are playing like the fast turn there, turns and the combinations there, so it might not sound good sometimes. So that's the only thing you have to take care. But otherwise, enjoy playing like the alap and the jor part in that one. So that's it. And medium tempo, anything, medium pace, anything.
I think at this point I'll just take a while to read some comments.
Yeah.
Ritik says I am not loud enough. Can you hear me clearly? So is my audio sufficiently clear? It might not be sufficiently clear to some people. Please let me know if the comment in the comment section if I am clearly audible. There is
think
Parijat.
you
Parijat.
are.
Sorry. So
Yeah,
okay.
tell me.
Parijat is here. Thank you, Parijat. Parijat, by the way, is Dada's student. He too is doing really well, and well, you'll get to hear a lot of him in the future, I'm sure. There is Sri Harathun Ganguly. I think this comment is for you, Dada. Welcome. Nice to see you in this in live. This is the first time to me.
Okay, this is also the first time to me, Haradan Babu. So I have to tell because he is like a senior citizen and he is studying violin and he's playing violin so nice. He just started learning violin from me. Yeah, so he's also a violinist, good violinist, and he started like to see just to get some like the ideas and stuff from me since like last year when this was started like the lockdown. So and namaskar to you, Haradan Babu. So you are here and enjoying our show for the first time, and I am also looking you here in the first time. So that's also a pleasure for me.
The next comment is from Saurojit Da, who is again a very, very versatile musician, amazing sitar player and keyboardist. Well, I think I should not say much. Anyone who is watching should just go to his YouTube channel. Saurojit Da has said, excellent, best wishes to both of the... Okay, I am not a great violinist. Dada is great, of course, not me. Thank you, Dada. All right. So, moving on. Of course, since you said two of your students are watching this stream, so you have taught students all around the globe. What are some of the most common mistakes that you have seen among people who play violin, Hindustani violin in particular? They can be beginners, intermediate level students, or even advanced students. What are the most common mistakes that you see?
Common mistake. Yeah, common mistake. I can say only one thing, that they don't follow their guru or their teacher, because that's the only the common mistake, the most common mistake. Not only for violin, I think for any discipline, this is like the most common mistake, because the guru from whom you are learning, your teacher, your guru, so they know the best, na, what they are teaching you or what they are showing you. So they give you the best. So what happens is that they show you how to do that. They give you the ideas. They teachers or guide, whatever, or mentors. So they give you the best idea how to do that one. So, but when you are, of course, you are not like obeying your teacher or listening to your guruji or guru or teacher, whatever. So that's like the biggest mistake, and that's like everybody do. So I think, because the main thing is why I am saying this one is that you cannot like categorize or you can like generalize the playing of any instrument. No? So all the instrument has like different playing style. It means any instrument has a different playing style. So violin also, we play in so many different styles. So you can't say that, okay, this is good, this is bad, this is this, this is that. You can't say, or you can't do that one. No? So what happens is that the style you are learning or the way you are playing, so you have to follow your teacher. So only they can show you the best way how to do that one. So that is the only way I think, or the students or beginners or anybody, they do this only mistake, that they don't listen to their teacher, they don't listen to their guru. So I will just suggest this one, that listen to your guru, so they will just guide you through your entire journey of learning music.
Okay, I think there are two more comments. There is Soham Da, again an outstanding sitar player. Hello Soham Da. There is Imon Da, Sri Imon Dash. I think you're friends with him. So
Imon, yeah, Imon, we did lot of stuff together. Imon Das, yeah, very nice vocalist, exceptional vocalist.
Yes. So the next question. So in your course of playing as a student, you already said that you had to struggle a bit with the tuning transition that happened when you went to Guru. Is there any other aspect of playing that you had a hard time overcoming? Something that
Yeah,
you took a lot
of
of.
course, because yeah, because the I think the main struggle one has to do while playing violin is that to get the correct tuning or the correct pitch.
Right.
Okay, so because that's like the most vital and no most difficult thing, and you have to do that one because you can't play besura, you can't play like the wrong intonation. So this is the only one thing, especially when you are playing or when you start playing the slides and stuff, you have to be very careful. And this is the point that everybody has to struggle, and I also struggled, and every still now struggling. It's not that I had struggled, so still I'm struggling because whenever you are playing, or especially the ragas which is like jumping the notes and stuff, so you have to really control all those things and all the time. So playing means and playing the slides on violin is difficult, and it's a part that you have to give more attention to get those the right hold of those things. Mm.
So, okay, so last year you came up with, I think, 3 new ragas: Indradhanush,
Mm.
Ganapati, Hamsavayani. So
Mm.
all of them, of course, are very beautiful. But then I have been particularly intrigued by yes, Indradhanush. Right. The
Mm.
concept of Indradhanush, as I think you mentioned in one of your videos, it was to combine Malhar, Kannada, and Kalyan.
Mm.
So can you demonstrate a bit of
Correct.
that, please? How the three come
Yeah,
together in one.
because the actually the basic thing is that you know that we were like passing through a so hard time, na? So challenging time. Still now we are, of course, in India especially, we are passing through the hard time. But that time it was very new to us, for everybody of us, that it was like that. The lockdown, nothing. So all the disease and pandemic and stuff. So all this stuff. So what happened is that in my mind, and also a few of my friends, and I think Sita Madhabushi ji, so who is CEO of the school where I teach in Houston. So she also told me to motivate me. Actually, I will not say that she just told me to motivate me that why don't you just create something which will give us hope, which will give us some good things for our thing. So then I decided that yeah, then this is a good idea. Then I'm sitting, and especially for musician, I think this lockdown also came in a way as a boon for us because most of the time we do concerts, traveling, teaching, and this and that. So you don't get too much time to like sit with yourself and do some sort of stuff that you really like to. So I think after coming for 1 year for after like this, then I see that it was really good that we get little time to sit with ourselves and to create something, do something new. So this is how it happened, and she told me that hey, do something like which can motivate you and also to means give a hope to others. No? So then I thought that okay, so let's do something. So then because I don't know that how this the combination of the notes came to my mind, but somehow it came. And after that, I was just doing a little bit of like doing playing this and that and this and that. So after that, finally, I got a little idea that okay, I can do like this, like this. Before that one, I haven't, I don't have any idea that which rag is there, which is I'm combining, or what notes are coming. Then when I played little the structure of this rag, then I saw that it's matching with the Kalyan, it's matching with the Malhar. And also sometimes it's touching of that Kannada part, little bit of that one. So then I thought that yeah, I can think of it in a way because then I got little the pilot thing, that the pilot project I got, okay, this is the thing, this I will make, this is my idea. So now let's move forward with this thing. So then I thought that which part I will give more, which color I will give more to this raga. Then suddenly it came to my mind that as we were passing through that time now, and also like and then I thought that okay, my name is Indradeep, and let's do something where the Indra will be there. Then suddenly this idea came to my mind that okay, why don't I give the name Indra Dhanush, because that's the ray of hope. So it have all the 7 colors, and this is the thing that we if we see, then it brings enjoyment, it brings happiness. So also I can just name this one like that. And of course, in our musical terms, I can say that Kalyan is like the most, like the interesting or like more joyful part, no, the ang we can say. So with that one, and of course, if it is anything connected with like the rain or this and that, you have to bring malhar. And so only cloudy things or like the darkness, so anything, so you have to bring little bit pinch of that malhar. So that malhar and kalyan came together, and I saw after that that if you are coming down that the kanarang, that gamma resa, if I can use that
Yeah.
one, then I can give that effect also little bit of that kanara part. So this is how it framed, this is how it all began in my mind, and after that, like after doing all these things, then it came together. So it's basically combination of like three, as you already told. So that's the thing, kalyan part, the malhar. So basically the kalyan is more if you are going like let me just get my sound, re sa re ga ma pa. So that part is more the re ga ma pa ni re ga ma pa. So the kalyan part is that. Let me just turn on the sound for a
Uh,
Yeah, so Kalyan is there, of course. So, and that is like the, what you can say, like the major part is this rag, that sa re ga ma pa pa ma da pa, and then it's coming to that kanarang. From there also you can pa ga ga ma re sa, and the malar is in the lower octave. You say ma pa ni da ni sa. So this is how it's like combining together. Ni da ni sa re ga ma pa ni da ma pa ga ma re sa. This is how it's coming. Re ga ma pa ni da ni sa. Varun, I think you already know this one because you sent me, I think, some recording of that one. You played that one. It was really
that
nice.
was very good.
So
Yeah.
the
Thank
first
you
thing
so
I
much.
got from somebody is that you send me that, hey Dada, I played this rag. So yeah, it was like really very happy moment for me that okay, somebody's playing
Thank you so
my
much,
creation.
Dharmesh.
So that's good. So yeah, so it's like the Kalyan. So sa ni re ga ma pa ni da ni sa ni da ni pa ga ma re ni da ma da ra.
Yeah. Uh, Again, there is a question from the audience. Somebody,
Hmm.
Mr. Sunitesh Sarkar has asked, is it possible to pursue playing Indian and Western style of violin together?
Yeah, definitely. Why not? You can play any style of music. It's not a problem. It's not anything difficult. Only thing is that you have to give time to everything because everything is like very specialized thing. So all this genre of music, whatever we do or whatever we listen, all these genre are very specialized. So if you really have to do it in the correct way or in like the very what is called detailed way, then you have to study all these parts very carefully. So because all this sort of music, all this kind of music has its own specialities. Huh? So that's the only thing that you have to take care. But of course, if you can do, if somebody can do, they can do. It's not a problem. Hmm.
Uh, that brings us to something about your playing that I have always considered special. Your execution of Diri Diri. I mean, it's so clear, it feels like as if it is being played on sitar or sarod.
Hmm.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, it would be great if you could just share 2 minutes of that.
Yeah, that's
Please.
like one of the style we play in especially if you are like playing any instruments, no? Because whenever you are saying that you are playing instrument, the first thing comes to your mind is sitar or sarod, no? Because the means like in respect of Indian music, if you are saying that I'm an instrumentalist, then these two instruments come in your mind first. So instrumentalist, what do you play? Sitar or sarod? So these are like the first two things it will come or they will ask
Right.
anybody. So what happened is that in my heart style and especially in our gharana, you know that we play different sort of like the different style na patterns. And my guruma used to play also, also that she also played lot of these bowls and tantrakari style and all this things. So she like taught me all these things, that how to do, what to do. And then every time, because gurus, they every time they say, especially my guru ma, she told me all the time that if you want to create something new, if you want to do something like do more of these things, then try by yourself, do whatever you like. And then what happened is that I used to listen more sitar and sort of, of course, Ravi Shankar ji or like Bilal Khan Saab. And I had also interested of listening to Shiv Kumar ji, Shiv Kumar Sharma. I listened him a lot. So I really love his presentation. So what happened is that his technique and stuff, that how he plays the alap jor part in an instrument like santur, where you can't do any mean or any kind of slides and stuff. So the way he brings out the beauty from that instrument, it's just incredible. No? So, and what happened is that I used to listen that part and like the jor part. So he's playing a lot of like these trills in santur, which sounding like this bowls of sitar or sarod. So then I thought that because that time, apart from my guruma, if you see the violin thing, especially in India, like in 80s and 90s, apart from my guruma or Jog Saab, there was not much like the Tantrakari style violin, because most of the violinists, they used to play the Gaiki style, which is also completely different style of playing. So, and Jog Saab also used to play Tantrakari, but he also played it in a different way, not like too much of this with the bows and stuff. He used to give a little bit different dimension to playing violin. So what happened is that, and I had always a urge to do something new. So I never wanted to copy anybody. That okay, I will do this, and so whatever I'm learning or I'm getting. So I don't know, something was always in my mind that I want to do something different, something like this, something like that. So, and I used to tell Guruma that Guruma, I want to do like this, Guruma, I want to do like that. So she used to tell me that, okay, do whatever you like. So, but I am showing you this thing. So do this. After that, if you want to do anything, you do it. That's your thing. But you have to do this, whatever I am showing you. So it's fine. So whatever she is showing me, I am trying my best to do that one. And on top of this, I am just trying to giving some different flavor and different color to my practice and stuff. So this is how it began. And also, of course, I will give huge credit to my another guru, Pandit Kumar Bose. So who is like the legendary tabla like maestro. So I want to give like the huge credit to him, because I used to go to him for practice. And as you all know that he used to play with Ravi Shankar ji, Amjad Ali Khan Saab, all this like the legendary instrumentalists. So, and when I used to practice with in his class or thing, then he used to, because I used to play a little bit of these bowls and stuff. Then suddenly I think he also got little idea, and he told me, hey, why you don't do like this? Why you don't do like that? Try to listen to this kind or this style and try to put it on your instrument. So this is all how it started, because he guided me a lot. I am sorry, I have a power cut, but the internet will be there. So, but the generator will come. We are in India, so
right.
But I can have little light for you. So this is candlelight interview, okay?
Yeah, that's great. That's just great.
Okay,
in the meantime, I think I'll just go through a few more comments.
Okay.
Haradhan Babu says Indradhanush is very sweet and melodious, very pleasant to listen. Of course, it is. There is Hriday. Thank you, Hriday. There is Joyashridi, fantastic vocalist who is a disciple of Sangita Acharya Omniyo Ranjan Bandyopadhyay. Thank you, Didi. Thank you for being here. There is Orpunda, another fantastic violinist. Thank you, Dada, for being here. Okay. So.
Yeah. So now we are doing candlelight interview, okay? Or candlelight conversation. You can change the topic. Okay. So
that was like about Diri Diri. Yeah.
Yeah, about Diri Diri. So that's how all it started. So I used to go to Guruji, means I call Pandit Kumar Bose Guruji. So he used to tell me that, hey, try this one like this, try do like that one. And I tried. So in the beginning, I stuck a lot, because of course, you know that to play like the cross strings, and especially like when you are doing like the different, like the rhythmic patterns with your bow, sometimes it's difficult, and especially to bring it in certain tempo. Maybe you can do it. Also, other thing is that if you can't play or if you can't do those styles or those patterns in that tempo, it will not sound good. So if you are playing Diri Diri in like the very slower tempo, it will not sound good. So you have to get that one to a particular speed or the particular tempo where it is like good to hear. So yeah, so that's how it started, listening all these great maestros, especially like Shiv Kumar Sharma ji, then Ravi Shankar ji, Ali Akbar Khan Saab, of course. So my Guruma. So yeah, so So it happened like that.
Yeah. So the riyas for this bowl playing. So were you the one to come up with it, or I mean, how did that happen? So I remember you demonstrating this exercise in BHU workshop again. So sare gama padhanisa sani dhapa magaresa followed by sasare gama papadhanisa. So then it becomes dirida dara. So how did you come up with that?
Because as I told you that I was listening to a lot of instrumentalists, and also I told you that my brother used to play sitar. So I had little idea of this. Thank God we are again back to the civilized world. So yeah, so I used to listen sitar, and I know about these bowls and stuff. And also, as I told you that I used to go to Guruji and my Guruma. So she also used to tell sometime like, so do like this, da diridara, because of lot of compositions, in our gharana we have, means all the compositions, not lot of compositions, all the compositions has with bowl. So she used to tell us like that with the bowls only, da diridara, so like that. So and she used to tell us that, okay, so if you are doing da diridara, so how you have to do this one. So then what happened is that I started doing those things. And when I started playing some tans or some improvisations, then I saw that somehow it's not coming properly to my hand. Because I can't play that one. Whatever it's coming in my head, it's not coming in my hand. So then I started finding out some way that what to do or how to make the riyaz of this particular portion to make it clear. So this is how it all started. So basically, it's like whenever I stuck somewhere doing some pattern or some style, then I get a point or get a thing that what I can practice. So then I just took it out, make it a palta, and practice in like different like the octaves and different like the patterns and different ragas, and that's how. So it came out. And after that, after doing all these things, research work for a while, then I came up with some sort of like the what you call like the structure that, okay, if somebody has to play all this kind of things, then they can go with this thing for practice. So now I have a little detailed structure that how you can do this thing in a proper way.
Again, this is something that I do have always wanted to ask you. So when you are playing diri diri, so of course it is very right hand intensive. It depends a lot on the bow. So is it a disadvantage to have the bow slightly loose? I mean, does that mean that you compromise on clarity if the bow is slightly loose? I mean,
slightly loose.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is that basically, see, whenever you are doing something, you have to be your best judge, that what you are doing. So you have to know that what will be my bow pressure and how much pressure I can give to the string. So all these things, these are all like the what you call like the experimental things. So there is nothing that you can go in like the copybook style that, okay, if you are playing this style or if you are doing this one, then give this much of pressure. So you can do that one. So everything is practical. So whenever you are playing something, you have to see. If you think that my bow is too loose, then you have to tighten it up. Or if you think that no, it's bouncing some bit, then you have to like loosen it a little bit so that you can get a control. So like that it works. So I don't think you have to compromise, because whatever or any musicians, those who are doing any sort of thing, again candlelight a little bit. I don't know why it happened.
No.
Yeah, see, this is good. So I think this is some palta is going on. Yeah, power cut, right. No cut, cut, no cut. So something, some pattern is going. So,
right.
So what happened is that yeah, so it's happening like that. So you have to be a judge, and you have to see that what is the sound is coming, because you have to listen to your sound. Because if you can hear your sound better, then only the audience or like the listeners, they can hear. So I don't think that you have to compromise with anything. You have to understand your power. You have to understand your pressure on the thing and the patterns, whatever you are playing, and accordingly you have to like give the pressure to your bow, or give the like the what you call the tension to your bow, and that's only it works.
So the next question is also about diri. What happens is, in case of sitar or sarod, there are specific directions in which to move your hand for da or ra. For sitar, it is this and this. For saroz, it is the other way around. So
Just the
for
reverse.
saroz, for instance, the da is always the downward stroke, the ra is always the upward stroke. But in case of violin, I presume that is not the case.
That is good
So
question,
why do we,
and very
yeah,
yes.
why do we get that advantage? As in, because the down bow and the up bow, they are not very different in volume or power. So is that the reason why we can kind of do da and ra in both directions?
Yeah, see, what happened is that when we are playing this, like the bowl things, na, especially uh, all of us have heard like Hariprasad Chaurasia ji. Okay, so in Hariprasad Chaurasia ji also play like the our style, na, Mahia style, and he do lot of like the bowls on flute. Okay,
Fantastic.
so also in so also in flute you can't like do one out and one in. You can't do. So you can play
Right.
fu d and fu ra. You can do. You have to give the air to the instrument. Na, then only it will sound.
Indeed.
So every instrument has its own like what you call the limitation. Na? So in our instrument, in a violin, what we do or what I do, it's not that what we do. What I do is that now finally we got back to the normal like the real life again. Okay, so what happened is that we go with the sound effect. We don't go with the bowls. Okay, so that is what more we have to focus on. That is for me. I think in that way that I have to focus more on the sound production, not on the technicality of the what you call the syllables, da, ra, this thing. So if you are playing da, dri, da, ra, then it does for violin because we can play da, di, ri or something like that. It will feel like so annoying to play. So you have to back and forth. You have to play. Na? Down up. You have to play. So now what is the main thing? So if you have to play dadri dara, you have to bring that sound effect, dadri dara. Okay, because in also say because why I am telling you these things in Santur also they are playing na dadri dara. So but in that one they are not playing dadiri dara, they can play dadiri dara, they can play. So it's like always alternate dadri dara they are playing. If I am not wrong very much, but because it's my observation, I am not saying because I am not a Santur player, but what I have observed to the Santur players, they are doing also the alternate to bring that sound effect, that diridara, diridara. So everything is alternate. Also in flute, you are just pumping in the air, that's it, and you are bringing that diridara, diridara, whatever, all these things you are bringing. So in our instrument, we don't have that kind of things that we can play da, ra. So okay, so if we are playing da, diri, so da, rada, so it's not that we are changing the bow style or the bow like the direction. So that's why I especially means if I am saying from my point of view, I go with the sound effect. That what I am playing or what kind of like the effect I want to bring, sound effect. So that's it.
There are again a couple of questions in the comment section. There is Rajiv Da, who is again a very good violinist. He has asked you, do you prefer wooden bows or carbon fiber bows?
I prefer wooden bow. If you say because only the problem is that of course for the temperature and all these things because when you are traveling to the different like the weather or different like the what you call humidity level and all these things so it changes a lot. So but the carbon fiber bow I tried few times but yeah it's the only thing is that I don't know if it is like too hot. I haven't seen that what happens to carbon fiber bow or if it is too cold what happens to carbon fiber bow because I haven't like able to control that one. Sometimes I had one means I tried only once with carbon fiber bow, but I couldn't handle it very well. So that's why because like yeah, since I started playing violin, I'm playing with the wooden bow. So I prefer that one, but I will not say that that's not good. Of course, it is good, but you have to understand its characteristics or its nature that how you can handle that one when you are traveling in like the different part of the world where you have to cope up with this temperature differences and all this stuff. So I think this is the only thing. But of course, because a lot of violinists they are playing with carbon fiber bow. So of course there is a way, but you have to with somebody has to learn that way how to control that. So I haven't learned it yet. So we'll do it.
There is Yatirajji. Thank you so much. There is Moinak. Moinak again is a very promising violinist of our generation. He
Yes,
says,
Moinak plays very
অসাধারণ
well.
একটি
Yeah.
আলোচনা উপভোগ করছি, ভীষণভাবে সমৃদ্ধ হচ্ছি, প্রণাম ইন্দ্রদীপ কাকু।
Okay, Joy Guru, ভালো থেকো Moinak.
And Parijat has a question. Parijat is asking you about your approach to Tankari. By the way, since he has mentioned Tankari, I think Dada is very soon going to conduct a workshop on Tankari. So anyone with that question is most welcome to attend that workshop.
Yeah. So Tankari, yeah. So Tankari and all these things, Tankari or Tankari, like egg curry, fish curry, this curry, that curry. So Tankari also, what you can do or what is that one? What's his question? Can you just repeat?
What is your approach to Tankari?
Okay, so basic thing is that when you are practicing them, I am not saying what I am performing or what is going there, because when I am on stage or when I am performing in front of somebody, it's completely different, because I don't plan anything. I don't plan my presentation, because whatever it comes, it comes. So it's just coming in my head and it's going out. So that's it. So it's just like the first time for both of us, for the listener and for me, listening that particular thing. So, but I can tell you that how to practice or how I practice. So basically I take like the few phrases or like the few patterns of the swaras, or like, you know, the melodic structures. And after that I try to expand that one when I am doing the tan, because of course you know that there are so many different styles of tan. Now if you are playing like the sapat tan, of course you are just going and coming. So foot tan and this tan. So basically when you are practicing some stuff, then what things comes in my mind is that I am taking a musical phrase, and after that I start to do expanding with that one. So this is the thing. And so like with two notes, after that how to make that two notes or three notes in a different way, you can play that one, what color you can add on that one, how you can make it with the four notes, with five. And if you're doing it with five, how many different patterns you can make with that five, or with the four notes you're playing, how many different pattern you are doing with that five four notes. So this is the thing that I keep in my mind when I'm doing this thing. Okay, so this is my approach, or this is how I see it.
Okay, that I guess brings us to the last question for this session.
Yeah.
The last question, of course, is it's customary, but what is your advice to anyone who is starting to learn the violin now, in general? Anything that you would
In
advise to
general,
them?
if you say in general, then again we have to go back to the question that where you asked me that what is like the common mistake that everybody do in the violin.
Follow your guru.
Follow your guru. So that's like the only answer or only thing which comes in my mind, that if somebody wants to start violin, and so this is like the best advice I can give, that follow your guru from wherever, from whomsoever you are learning, because they know, na, from the guru from whom you are learning, they know that how to come to that point, to that, do that thing. So they can guide you the proper way. So only thing is that you have to be like, you have to like blindly, you have to just follow your guru, at least till some point. At least till some point you have to follow
While
your
you were
guru.
talking about your guru, Onomitra Kaku has come. He has congratulated you.
ও
প্রণাম কাকু।
মাস্টার মশাই, প্রণাম নেবেন, আমার প্রণাম নেবেন। গুরুজি আপনার ব্যাপারে কথা হয়ে গেল অনেক মাস্টার মশাই, আপনি পরে আসেন। আপনার সাথে আমি পরে কথা বলবো তাহলে। কিন্তু আপনার ব্যাপারে অনেক কথা হলো, and I just told them also that it was only due to me, because you are like right now you are over here. So it was just due to you that whatever I am playing today, and you like all the credit I give to you, because you bring me to this, the most beautiful, like what I can say, the subject in this world, music. So my pranam to your like feet all the time, and stay safe and stay well, and pranam nin amar bhalo bhalo থাকবেন. So yeah, so this is the thing. So only thing I say, or I want to tell everybody, that follow your teacher, follow your guru from whomsoever you are learning, so they can guide you the best way.
Thank you so much, Dada, once more for agreeing to come to our show, agreeing to start this series.
It was my pleasure. It was my pleasure.
Again,
and I wish
night,
all the
goodbye.
success to your this concert or this series of the things, what you guys are doing. So
Thank you
thanks
so
to
much,
everybody.
Dada.
Okay, and stay blessed
Thank you
and
so
stay
much,
safe,
brother.
everybody. Enjoy music. For you, enjoy violin and do something, whatever you want to do, some different stuff, and let us know so that we can also do. We can also try those things. Okay.
That is too modest of you, brother. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay. Take care, everybody. Bye.
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 Good night. Take care. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Good night. Okay. Bye.